We're going to have the toss of the coin very shortly, and then we'll be back here in the Carrier Dome after this. Neither team is on the field, but the captains are. Syracuse will have Marty Chalk. Here comes Nebraska out. They'll be in white today. Nebraska Cornhuskers. Look at that. Number one. Number one all last year until the final few seconds of the Orange Bowl game. Their coach, Tom Osborne, he doesn't have a weight problem, Lenny.
He sure doesn't. He was relaxed, too, when you were interviewing him before this football game. And he can relax because his team is averaging 403 yards rushing the football per game. That is astounding.
Now, you look back at his record in 11 years, and before that, here come the Orangemen of Syracuse.
They look like they're ready, I'll tell you that. They are fired up coming out of there.
And their coach, Dick McPherson. There's his record. He was at the University of Massachusetts before he came here, trying to reinstall Syracuse in the elite of college football that they enjoyed under Ben Schwartzwalder, winning national titles and producing some of the greatest running backs in the history of not only the collegiate game, but the professional game.
Yes, I think when teams at the collegiate level think of what type of program do we want, they look over with the people in the red and white over there, the University of Nebraska. They have an outstanding football program, and I think with their walk-ons, they had some 13 walk-ons start in a football game, which is astounding to me.
Raymond Bauer is the referee. He's in the white hat. He's a good guy. And we're going to have the coin toss. Well, in my ears said we have audio problems. I don't know how you are out there. They're talking to Syracuse. Remember, the team that wins the toss can say, we'll wait for our option at the start of the second half. Nebraska is going to receive. Syracuse will kick off from your right. Nebraska will receive on your left. One thing Tom Osborne does not do during any game I've ever seen him, he never gets excited.
Well, he has been in every game, I think, for what, the last 70-some games. The margin of victory or loss, or the margin of loss, the games that he's lost has been 7 points. That's the most he's lost in the last 7. They haven't lost many. Syracuse leads this series 6-5. They took a terrible pasting last year in Lincoln, so they're out to try and avenge that. Now they've changed, and Nebraska is going to be on your right. Syracuse will be on your left, and kicking off for Syracuse will be their place kicker, Don McCauley. They have yet to miss an extra point. They've made about 112 extra points in a row. Syracuse did. Paul Miles, number 21, and Doug DeBose, number 22, will be the deep men. Jeff Smith would normally be back there, but he is sidelined today with a sprained ankle. He might have played, but they just didn't want to take any chances with him. I think they might have remembered Rozier in the Orange Bowl with a bad ankle, sprained ankle, and that has stuck with him for months after that game. We were watching him running prior to really the pregame warm-ups. He was out there in shorts and a T-shirt running. He looked like he was running fairly well. DeBose will be on the far side. Miles is on the near side. DeBose is a sophomore. Miles is a junior. They'll both be back next year. Jeff Smith will graduate. But one goes and another one comes off. And here we go. We are underway in the Carrier Dome. It is coming to DeBose, a yard deep in the end zone. He's out to the 5. He's to the 10. Finds an opening, gets up to his 20, and plows his way to his 25-yard line. And going down there on the tackles for Syracuse is number 26, Peter Ewald. First down.
We have an injured player already in this game. Of course, the kickoff is the most dangerous play in a football game.
Yes, I don't know who the injured player is, but I know that Syracuse really, they went flying down on that kickoff. 26, that's Tom Rathman.
He's fullback and a good one. He will be the starting fullback if he's all right. Sundberg's at quarterback. Rathman, who's down, is the fullback, and DeBose is the I-back. Shane Swanson, Scott Kimball are the wide receivers, and the tight end is Todd Frayne. And the line, it's a huge line, averaging 266 pounds. Bennings, the left tackle. Grimminger's the left guard. Stranowitz is the center. Orton is the right guard. And Tom Morrow is the right tackle. This line, Donahue, the UCLA coach, Lenny said it's the best offensive line he ever saw in college football.
Well, they just wear you down. They run the ball so much more than they throw the football. They run the ball 200 times to some 44 times passing. So you know what they're going to do. The problem is, how are you going to go about stopping them? And by the time the fourth quarter comes around, the defense that plays against that Nebraska offensive unit.
Nebraska's lost their starting I-back and their starting fullback before the first play from scrimmage. Scott Porter replaces Rathman at fullback. Sundberg to the DeBose. Here he comes on the sweep, and he's out of bounds on the 34-yard line. A pickup of 10 or close to a first down. Doug DeBose, the sophomore from Newcastle, Connecticut. He's averaged 11 yards a carry this season.
Boy, they got blocking, and they jumped outside of the defense. You're taking a look at the defensive unit of the Orangemen from Syracuse.
They have a first down on their first play from scrimmage. Nebraska's averaged a little over 6 yards a carry this year. 6 yards an attempt. The I-back again, DeBose. They jam him that time at the 37-yard line. Jeff Knopf, the left tackle, number 97, led that charge. DeBose, they say, may have a little more speed than Smith. It's hard to figure.
Well, they say he's quicker than Jeff Smith is, but Jeff Smith is an outstanding back. It just shows you the depth that Nebraska has. When your number one fullback, your number one I-back go down, and you've got 2 men to replace him almost as good.
Second down and 7. Up the middle is Scott Porter, the fullback, the senior from Nebraska City. He's hit by Knopf, and the linebacker, Rudy Reed. Jeff Smith, the starting I-back, with an ankle, ran some sprints. They decided he should not play today. Then the fullback is hurt on the kickoff, the starting fullback. Out goes Shane Swanson. They're getting another tight end in there. It's on the 40-yard line of Nebraska, third down. Jason Gamble's in now. And
they had to call timeout because there was a big mix-up.
Used a timeout early. They weren't set up there, so they took the time. So while they huddle over there, we'll tell you we're in the early moments of this Nebraska-Syracuse game, and there's no score.
Brought to you by Burdick Automobile Dealers. Today's winner gets an
Probably the best player on this Syracuse team, keep your eyes on him, is their right tackle, Tim Green, 72. We saw him against Maryland. Very impressive. Gamble and Swanson are the wide receivers. It's the third down play. They're going to pass. Now Sundberg rolls out of the pocket, throws, incomplete. And Nebraska will punt.
John Ruse
for Gamble.
John Ruse, the defensive back, number 40 for Syracuse, made the hit just as the ball touched the receiver's hands. Had he been a little earlier, they probably would have thrown the flag. That was a good defensive stand by Syracuse. They have to stop this Nebraska team on first down. They can't afford to let Nebraska get 6 and 7 yards on first down.
Scott Livingston does all the punting. Schwady, 16, is their punt returner. Livingston's averaged 41 yards a kick. Good hang time on this. Fair catch by Schwady on the 17-yard line. This telecast authorized under broadcasting rights granted by KATZ Sports. It's intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or publication without the express written consent of KATZ Sports is prohibited. So here we go now with Syracuse in offense. Todd Norley will be the quarterback, number 12. Jamie Covington, 45. Harold Gayden, 47 of the running back. Mike Ciano, 14. Schwady, 16 are the wide men, and Marty Chalk is the tight end. Covington to the 20-yard line. He's the leading ball carrier on this club, and we have a flag down. Scott Strasburger made the stop for Nebraska. That's their setup and offense that we gave to you. And here's their offensive line.
Syracuse offensive line. They're a big offensive line, similar to the Nebraska offensive line, and they do have some seasoned veterans in that offensive line. They're going to have a job today opening up some space for the running backs, because Nebraska has only given up 17 points in 3 ball games.
Glenn, Nebraska was so great on offense last year. I think they overshadowed their defense. But the one thing that Osborne and his staff set out to do, this is holding time. He sets the ball back. They set out to improve their defense this year, and it is vastly improved. And the players say, we're not lining up one-on-one. We're running around people this year. We're bouncing around.
Well, one thing that they're doing, the offense of Nebraska gives the ball away, but it hasn't affected defense. They've been able to hold.
Syracuse now from their 10. Jamie Covington has it. They pile him up and drop him on the 12-yard line. And that's Mark Dahm, number 51, the strong side linebacker, making the stop. Nebraska uses a 5-man front. Bill Weber, he was outstanding last week against UCLA. Chris Bachman, Ken Graber, Suki, and the right end is Strasburger. Dahm and Munford are the linebackers. Burke and Harris are the corners, and McCashlin is the monster. Brett Clark is the safety. Clark is probably the best defensive player they have. Second down. 15. Norley rolling out. Going to carry the ball. He drives up to his 16-yard line, and that's it. Nebraska pursued. Strasburger, the right end, slid over there. And McCashlin, the monster man.
Norley wisely is not putting that ball up for grabs, because what they cannot afford right now is to give the football to this fine Nebraska offensive unit down in their territory. He was looking to throw the ball first. No one was open, so he took off and got as much yardage as he possibly could.
Third down, 11 to go. Chalk is out. Jim Tate is in at tight end. Norley barking those signals. Norley escaping on the run. Just to the 20 and down on the 21. They're short of the first down. They'll have to punt. He was pursued and down by Bill Weber, the left end, 87.
Well, once again, they're rolling out, trying to get away from the rush. If he goes straight back in the pocket with the fine defensive line that Nebraska has, he's going to have a long afternoon. So he jumped out of there both times. That one wasn't really originally designed to jump to the outside, but he had to because of the pressure.
James Fox will punt, averaging just under 40 yards a kick. Shane Swanson and DeBose are the double safety. Jeff Smith would normally be back there. He leads the nation in punt returns. A twisting spiral. Swanson will handle it on the 35 to the 40. Dropped on the 42-yard line. Nebraska gains 2 yards on the exchange of punts. 44-yard punt and a 7-yard return. There's now a timeout on the field with a score in the first period. Syracuse nothing, Nebraska nothing. And we'll be right back. Nebraska's ball on their 42. They open a hole for Doug DeBose, the I-back. He's brought down by Tim Green, number 72. That's just a straight power play. The handoffs or the sweep to the I-back have been so effective over the years for Nebraska.
And they're going to the left side of that Nebraska offensive line, and why wouldn't you? You've got an All-American candidate in about 3 positions. Stranowitz, the center, is being groomed as an All-American. So is Grimminger, so is Benning.
Benning weighs 290. He'd be matched up against Tim Green, the potential All-American of Syracuse. On second down, DeBose is hit, and out of bounds he goes. He's taken out on his 47-yard line by Ron Hobby, the senior safety, and Rudy Reed, the inside linebacker.
Good reaction by that Syracuse defensive unit, because that was a counter play. Delayed, looked like it was going to start to the right side, but it jumped back to the left side. But they were not fooled. The people who had the responsibility of containment to that side stayed at home, made the play.
3rd and 5 for Nebraska from their 47. They'll pass it. Sundberg looks the field. He's got a receiver open. That's the tight end, Frayne. Todd Frayne is out of bounds in Syracuse territory. John Roos, the cornerback, drove him out. Frayne is from Iowa.
Tight end coming underneath the linebacker. You see the linebackers flying out of there. Now here he comes right underneath. Number 35 was Rudy Reed, the linebacker. He turned, went deep to give help to the secondary people. That tight end came right underneath him. It was wide open.
Nebraska has a first down on the Syracuse 35. No score. 9:57 to go in the quarter. Squirting through. They should have stopped him at the line of scrimmage with Doug DeBose. He picked up 3 or 4 yards. Teaming up on him were Jamie Kimmel and Rudy Reed. DeBose is down on the 32 of Syracuse, and Nebraska has the second down coming, 7 to go.
Well, that's the type of defense you have to have against Nebraska on first down. You've got to stop them from picking up their natural 6-yard average, what they've been doing so far in 3 ball games.
Jim Thompson's in now as a wide receiver. Scott Kimball is the other one. They give it on a draw play. That's DeBose, and he wriggles to the 29. A draw. The 3rd and 4. Tim Green hit him, and Jeff Knopf, the left tackle. Both tackles converging. Nebraska 3rd and 4.
Once again, ordinarily, this is a passing situation. I say ordinarily, but not necessarily for this Nebraska team, because they are so strong up front and they run the ball so exceptionally well.
Nebraska's averaged 40 points a game this year. Last year, they had adding machine scores in the 60s and 70s against some of the opponents. DeBose trying to track for it. They stop him. Angling in was Jerry Allen, the outside linebacker, and John Roos, the cornerback.
I'll put number 72 in there too, Kurt, because Tim Green was involved. And I'm surprised, well, not really, that they're going to Tim Green's side, because he is the strength of this Syracuse defensive unit. But they do have such strong men offensively on that side.
4th down, a yard to go. They're on their feet here in the Carrier Dome. Nebraska's ball, 4th and a yard to go on the Syracuse 26. Fullback. And he may have it. That is Scott Porter, the scheduled starting fullback. Tom Rathman was hurt on the kickoff after they lost their I-back who warmed up. The starting I-back, Jeff Smith. So they're in there with second stringers now in the running back position.
I don't think they have such thing as second stringers with the University of Nebraska. That was a good call there, because they have to feel with that offensive unit, when they need 1 yard, with that big offensive line, they can get it most any time that they want.
John Gamble's flank to the left. Shane Swanson to the right. First down, Nebraska on the Syracuse 25. There goes a
got a man wide open.
He's open there, and he's got it for a touchdown. Todd Frayne, the tight end. He laid it in there perfectly to him. A great fake up the middle. They faked up the middle. They completely fooled Syracuse, and it's a 25-yard touchdown. Sundberg to Frayne.
Kurt, you said it. This is a tremendous fake. Look at that fake. The quarterback even looks back as if the man had the football. This first down situation, what do you think Syracuse is worried about? They're worried about the run. The tight end, Todd Frayne, went straight down the field, and he was wide open. And that's an excellent throw by the quarterback, Sundberg.
Now, you can't get a better executed play than that all the way from the snap to the finish. Dale Klein boots it up, and Nebraska has the lead. 7-0 with 7:51 to go in the first period, and we'll be back here in the Carrier Dome.
And it is long in overtime again. Please turn to
7-0, Nebraska in the lead. They'll be kicking off. Larry Morris, Walter Mosley are going to be the deep men. Mosley near side, Morris on the far side. Livingston will kick off. Oh, Klein's kicking off. And it is in the end zone, coming out to the 15, and Nebraska contains him. Anytime you stop a club within the 20, you've done a good job. Got Tucker down to make the tackle. Watch the fake on this touchdown. You'll never see a better fake by a quarterback.
Sundberg coming back. He's going to fake to DeBose right there. Look at him. Look. He's looking at him. Look at the offensive line. They're going at it like it's a running play. The tight end is coming straight down the middle. The defense has been reacted, but just a little bit too late, and it's an excellent throw by Sundberg. Touchdown for the Cornhusker.
Syracuse now is pinned back on its 16-yard line. Todd Norley is the quarterback. They're in the eye. They give the ball. Covington shakes through. He had a good hole open. Dom had to bring him down, the linebacker. Jamie Covington picks up some good yardage to the 24 of Syracuse, and Dave Burke, the left quarterback, helped mark Dom.
Without Dave Burke making that tackle, if he got by Dave Burke, it was going to be a foot race to the other end of the field.
Second down, 2 for Syracuse. Tate is in at tight end. They've got a...
Syracuse needs to do something offensively to keep their defense off the field.
Here's the option play. That's Gayden. Gayden may have the first down. Harold Gayden from Carrollton, New York, a junior. They call him the legend of Sleepy Hollow. He went to Sleepy Hollow High School.
Well, he better not fall asleep today because somebody will tear his head off. That was a good pitch out, a good option play, and a first down for the Orangemen. And what they have to do, they've got to move that football, not only play catch-up, put points on the board, but keep their defense off the field.
Syracuse ball on their own 28. First down. Nebraska's ahead, 7-0. They're in a slot left. Covington is jammed this time. No room there. Chris Bachman, Ken Graber, the left tackle, middle guard of that Nebraska front wall, brought him down on the 28-yard line of Syracuse. Well, give him a yard. Put it on the 29. It's a little closer to the 29. Illinois and Iowa are underway out in the Big Ten, and Iowa's leading Illinois 7-0 in the first quarter. Tate replaces Marty Chalk to the tight end. Second down, 9, Syracuse. Covington looking. Nothing, and he goes to the 26, or to the 31, and that's it. Bachman again. Dave Burke, the left cornerback, came up to help him.
I think what Nebraska is displaying defensively is the quickness that they have. Bachman came all the way over from his position to make from one side of the line to the other to make that tackle. One thing that Osborne and the coaching staff wanted to improve on was the defense over last year. It looks like they've done that.
They put Chad Dapper in now as a linebacker. He's faster. The passing situation, 3rd down and 7. Dorley will put it up. He has time. There's his receiver. Swadeys has it. Got Swadeys. Went down and then turned in and got himself open. Nearly dropped the ball, but he held on to it.
The great thing about this, the blitz was on. They were going after Norley, the quarterback. He read the blitz. He got rid of that ball before Swadeys made his move. And the ball was upon Swadeys in a hurry, but he did catch it with his hands. And even though he bobbled a little bit, he still had his eyes on the ball and had an opportunity to pick it up the second time. That was a big play for the Orangemen.
Todd Swadeys, outstanding sophomore receiver, leads the Orangemen in receiving this year. Here's Covington. Covington ripped by one tackler, carried another one with him, crosses the 50-yard line, and gets into Nebraska territory before he's pulled down by Bill Weber, the left end, number 87.
That was good running because Weber did have him right up, not on the line of scrimmage, but that extra effort enabled him to pick up about 4 more yards.
It is second down 5 for the Orangemen of Syracuse on the Nebraska 47. The score 7-0 Nebraska, 4:40 to play in the first period. Nebraska scoring on a 25-yard pass play. A slot left formation for Syracuse. Gayden. Gayden is hit by number 90. Scott Strasburger, the right end. He really wrapped him up there.
When you go sideways, once in a while you can get away with it and make some yardage. But so much of the time when you start to go sideways along that line of scrimmage, there's going to be somebody there to make the tackle. Plus the fact that you have no power as a running back when somebody grabs a hold of it. If you're going straight upfield, you're going to have some power and you might break a tackle.
Third down for Syracuse. Dick McPherson, Syracuse coach. Let's see what they do now. Bootlegging it. He's rushed. He's hit. And he's taken down. He's trapped back on the 41-yard line. Mark Dahm came roaring through, the linebacker. Munford was in there. He was pressed by 4 or 5 white-shirted Nebraska players. He had no chance. The coach told us, Lenny, we got to run more bootlegs and things like that against this team, but that one didn't work.
Well, they're trying to get away from that pressure. When you go straight back in the pocket, Nebraska's going to put pressure on you. But what Norley has to learn to do, that when that pressure is there, throw the football away. Don't take that big loss, because now if they had taken that big loss when they punted, they'd have put Nebraska in poor field position.
James Fox kicks it up. Watson calls for a fair catch and has it on the 24-yard line of Nebraska, and the Cornhuskers will put the ball in play there. So while we wait for Nebraska's offensive unit to come out, we'll tell you the score: Nebraska 7, Syracuse nothing.
36-yard run.
3 minutes to go in the first period. Nebraska leading 7-0. They put on a 58-yard drive, capped off a 25-yard scoring pass from Sundberg to the tight end, Todd Frain. Frain, F-R-A-I-N, has already caught 2 in this game. All right, Sundberg. That's to DeBose. DeBose gets outside. He's been busy so far. Ron Hobby had to take him out of bounds there. And they're going to spot him out on the 29.5, kind of call it the 30-yard line. This is the Syracuse coach talking to his players. 6-yard game for DeBose, who is starting today in place of the injured Jeff Smith. And now coming on is Jim Thompson, second-string receiver, and Jason Gamble, a second-string receiver. There goes DeBose on the sweep. He has a first down. He bursts loose. He brings the ball over the 45 to the 46 of Nebraska, and another first down, but a flag has been dropped.
Kurt, I think you were talking about the speed of this young man. We just had an opportunity to see it. He is extremely quick. It looked like they had him penned in, had the angle on him, but he jumped to the outside and made big yardage. But unfortunately for Nebraska, they're going to bring it all back because of a penalty.
They have been called for holding. This will put the ball back on their 20-yard line and make it a second down and 14.
10 yards, holding.
We got problems with that mic on the field.
Second down.
We'll do the audio on these penalties.
Yeah, well, what it's doing now, that penalty is going to place Nebraska in a position where they may have to throw the football. I say may have to because they run it so extremely well.
We have now a second down for Nebraska, 14 to go. They're in the lead, 7-0. Sundberg throws to the sideline. It is broken up. Getting double team. Scott Kimball was trying to catch the ball. John Roos was on him. That was an odd little pattern. The quarterback didn't even drop back. He just stood right behind the center and threw the ball.
Yeah, he was aggressive blocking by the offensive line. They're going out after the defense. He's rolling, taking a couple of steps, and he's looking to hit his man right away. If it's a zone defense, he's going to hit him between the 2 defensive players. If it's man-to-man, he's going to try to go up top. But John Roos played that very well.
Third down, 15. Sundberg is 2 out of 4. They got big yardage to make up here. Now he's going to run it out. He takes off, and he stopped. They stopped him on the 29. He was trying to drive for that yard marker and go out of bounds over there, but he couldn't reach it. A 9-yard pickup, and Nebraska has to punt, and that fires up the Syracuse crowd.
Well, it does that, and it fires up the fans here, too, because they stopped this Nebraska football team. Ted Gregory, number 93, the nose tackle. He was one of the men chasing Sundberg over there, flushed him out of the pocket.
All-purpose kicker Scott Livingston will boot. Schwades is the safety man. Driving spiral. Schwades waits, takes it on his 30. Dances away, comes up to the 35, to the 36. The 1959 national championship team was brought back here to 25th anniversary, and Schwade's father, Gerhard Schwade, got a big roar. He was the captain of that team. 25 years ago, Syracuse winning the national championship. Well, we'll learn more about what the school's athletic departments are doing about treating injuries, more importantly, preventing injuries. It's an interesting story, and that'll be on at halftime with you. We'll have Bob Devaney on and Floyd Schwartzwalder, who coached that 59 national championship Syracuse team. Syracuse under 36 for a first down. Jamie Covington, and he is racked up. He is hit there by number 51, Mark Dahm, the linebacker. Nebraska, in the early days of weightlifting, were the pioneers of it, and they were supposed to have the model weightlifting program, Lenny, and many schools went in and studied it and copied. Their players are strong. They don't budge.
Well, you just look at them. You see, most of them have no necks. You know, they lift weights so much, and they can pump themselves up. A lot of these men can lift as much as 400 and 500 pounds bench pressure.
It is second down. And there's a fake. Just give it up to Gaden up the middle. They're going to have trouble running against this massive team. They're going to probably have to open this thing up more to move on Nebraska.
You've got to mix it up, both running and passing, to keep that defense guessing. Right now, Nebraska does not worry about the guess. Iowa still leading Illinois 7-3.
Yeah, that score's changed. Here's Vanderbilt 3, Alabama nothing. Vanderbilt's won its first 3 games. 7-7, West Virginia and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh off to a very disappointing start. Third down, 8 to go for Syracuse from their 38. He gets some time. Now he has to get out of the pocket, and they bring him down, 31. He failed to unload it again and takes a big loss.
Well, I'll tell you, looking at who's downfield, they only had 2 receivers downfield. That means that they had a lot of people back trying to protect that quarterback. They still were unable to do it. They've got to start working, I think, with quicker passes. Get rid of that ball in about in 2 or 3 seconds instead of waiting back there and waiting for things to develop.
That's the second sack for Nebraska. They had 8 last week against UCLA. They're out after them this year.
Well, when you put a team in a third and long situation with that Nebraska defense, they're going to give you fits.
Wobbly, short kick. It gets a Nebraska bounce and is down on the Nebraska 48-yard line, where the Cornhuskers will be in excellent position. A 27-yard punt. You'll be seeing a lot of Nebraska players in this game. Tom Osborne believes in shuttling them, playing them, and in Nebraska's one-sided scores in recent years, he can use his second and third stringers and giving them experience for the next year.
Oh, sure.
So they're ready. Even though they graduate players, the other ones have played, they come on. DeBose finds a hole. He roars through for a first down. He just sort of slithered through there, and he goes to the 38-yard line of Syracuse.
Quickness is really important from that I-back formation. You're taking a look at DeBose right now, number 22. Look at the outstanding blocking up front. That is what a hole looks like for a running back. He slips a little bit, but just really fine blocking by that offensive line as this first quarter comes to an end.
So there's the end of the first quarter, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers lead Syracuse 7-0.
All right, Nebraska, I got one.
This is Kurt Gowdy and Len Dawson in the Carrier Dome, Syracuse. We begin the second quarter. Nebraska leading Syracuse 7-0. Nebraska has a first down on the Syracuse 38. DeBose. They drive him down on the 36-yard line. It's like a fumble, but I believe the whistle had already blown on that one. DeBose has been busy. He's now carried the ball 10 times for 49 yards. Here's the total yards for the first quarter. Rushing Nebraska, passing, wide edge in the stats. Look at that. 3-1. They do that on most teams. Second down, 8 for the Cornhuskers. DeBose in the eye, hands off to Swanson, the receiver. Swanson is to the 29. He's the wing back or a wide receiver. DeBose flipped it to him. Well, they open up a little bit. Usually, instead, they just pounding away at him.
Well, that gives them something else to think about. Gives Syracuse something else to think about when they run that reverse. They've made a few yards on that play, and they did it mostly on the running ability of Swanson.
3rd and 1 for the Cornhusker.
Well, you got to figure, Kurt, that they actually got 2 downs to pick up this first down if they want to.
The most deep in the eye, Norton is the fullback. Up. Look at him go. Boy, he's quick. Doug DeBose. He's a second stringer. He can play with anybody.
He is going over that left side, that fine offensive center for Nebraska, number 57, Mark Trenowitz. Harry Grimminger, the guard on that side, and also Mark Benning on that side. Boy, that is a dream for a running back to run behind those big guys. Not only are they big and strong, but they are very quick.
First down, Nebraska, the Syracuse 18.
Fumble.
And Syracuse has it. That's the first turnover. On the handoff, they got messed up. They lost the ball. They get up, and on the ball is Rudy Reed, number 35, the linebacker. First turnover, and it goes against Nebraska.
Well, that's a big play for Syracuse. They needed that because they were marching. You can see right now, it looks like the guard was pulling, and the guard hit the hands of the quarterback. Falling out there, and Rudy comes up with a football. But the guard cannot get any depth when he's pulling that way when the quarterback is spinning around. One thing that Nebraska will do, they'll put that ball on the ground. They will fumble.
Syracuse on their 17 with a first down. Todd Norley rolling out, stumbled. He'll have to unload it. He's going to get hit again, and he's sacked behind the line of scrimmage. That's the 3rd sack for Nebraska.
Everything is too delayed on the play passing. That was a bootleg that he's rolling around out there. He was forced to move in the pocket because of the penetration by the defensive line, but he's got to find somebody in a hurry and get the football to him. You cannot be looking around back there as a quarterback and taking 4 and 5 seconds trying to find a receiver open. There isn't going to be anybody open.
Danny Noonan was the man that got to him, second string tackle. He was in the UCLA backfield last week also. Up the middle they go this time, playing it safer. Harold Gayton carried the ball. We have a flag down. We may have a late hit here. I don't know. Let's see.
Pointing toward Nebraska.
We're going to try that referee's mic one more time. We'll try it later. Tom Osborne, all right, boys, stay cool out there. He wants to know what it's about. Preliminary was a face mask.
Yes.
A 5-yard face mask against the defense. Repeat second down.
It's getting better, they tell us. All right, the ball's on the 23-yard line of Syracuse. They have a second down and a long 4. Not many penalties so far. Now they're changing those sets in the backfield, trying to open up something. And they try to slug it off left tackle. Munford. Harold Gayton didn't get much yardage on that one. They're not able to run inside. Covington made one run off tackle, but outside of that, they're having real trouble cracking inside against Nebraska.
They've got to start doing something on first down. Looks like the way to do it against this Nebraska team is to throw the football on first down, but it cannot be long delay type of passing patterns. You've got to throw it quickly. You've got to get that quarterback to get out and read a linebacker or read a defensive back and get rid of the football.
3rd down and 2. Marty Chalk is out at tight end. Jim Tate is in. Nebraska's ahead 7-0. Norley has been sacked 3 times. Here he is to throw. A quickie. He's got a first down. And he hits Jim Tate, the tight end. Jim Tate caught that ball. And Syracuse gets some breathing room.
Well, there it is. He went back. It was not a roll in a long delay pattern. The tight end went down about 8 or 10 steps, turned around right there. You can see him waving his hands. He's all by himself. He found the open spot. The quarterback located him. He should have located him because he threw his hand. There it is. It all starts with the big guys up front. You got to afford protection. Now, there is good protection by that Syracuse team, and you can't ask for much more time than that against Nebraska's defensive front.
First down now, Syracuse on their 38. Covington to the 40, bangs forward to the 49 just on his own power. Jamie Covington, who's been the best running back this year for Syracuse. So he picks up some yardage.
Good block by his running mate, Harold Gade, number 47. He kicked out the outside man, enabling Covington to turn back to the inside and pick up yards. Here it is now, a second down situation that is a lot better. 2nd and 4 situation.
That's right, Len. 2nd down 4. The Orange men on their 44-yard line, trailing 7-0 early in the second quarter. They're going to pass it. Swings it to Covington. They've nearly had him trapped. He goes to the... There goes a flag down. He got to the 45 and then to the 46, and that's all. Did you notice that quick pursuit by Nebraska?
Yes, there was a quick screen pass getting it out to the back in a hurry, and you had the offensive guard, number 62, Vanelli, going out there making the block on the outside guy, but Norley's pointing in their direction.
One of the officials talking to Coach Tom Osborne. It appears this penalty may be going against Nebraska. Officials can't get together on it. It is. This is a big one. It goes to the Nebraska 44-yard line.
Nebraska is certainly helping Syracuse. First of all, they fumble, and now a couple of penalties that are keeping the drive alive for Syracuse.
First down, Syracuse on the Nebraska 44. 7-0, Nebraska leading. Second period. Covington. They stacked him up at the 41-yard line. He's hit there by Bill Weber. Mark Munford, the weak linebacker, weak side linebacker. He's not a weak linebacker by any means. None of them are weak.
No, sir.
It'll be second down, 7 for Syracuse. Time remaining, first half, 10 minutes. Nebraska leading, but they've been given a stiff engagement here so far by Syracuse.
Yes, they have. They've hurt themselves with a couple of penalties and a fumble.
Norley, pass incomplete to the 36-yard line. He had a man momentarily open. That's Jamie Covington, number 45, coming out of the backfield. Now it's 3rd and 7 for Syracuse.
They really have to find ways to cut down on the rush of Nebraska. You do that with draws and screens and getting the ball quickly to the tight end just over the line of scrimmage or to a back over the line of scrimmage. Norley is not going to have a whole lot of time until he slows that rush down. It's evident that the running game really isn't going to provide what he's looking for to take the pressure off the passing game.
Mike Ciano to the left, Schwades to the right. Norley's 2 out of 3. On the season, he's 50%. He's more of a control possession-type passer. And that one's complete to the 35-yard line. He hit Scott Schwades, who's very good under pressure catching the ball.
Going to be short, though. And now the people here in the stands, what do you think they're saying? Of course, they're saying go for it.
Well, what do you do now? They're a fourth down and a yard.
It could be out of the range of the field goal kicker, McCauley, anyway. So you might as well go for it.
They get a reserve fullback in Roland Grimes. They take out Mike Ciano. Fourth down, about a half yard for a first down. Covington, and he has it. He sliced off right guard and picks up a first down. And the crowd loves it.
Of course, I don't know what they'd have said had he not made it. Next time they probably would have booed him, but that was a good play, a good call, because the situation with 8:55 remaining in this first half, you're down there on the 35-yard line. I think you're out of the range of the kicker anyway, but here's where it all happens. Down there, the line of scrimmage. You can see that on the right side of your screen where the ball was carried, they did not get penetration. Nebraska did not get good penetration.
Harold Gayden. Still going. The 30 to the 20-yard line. A first down. Hard running by Harold Gayden.
Maybe that first down fired that Orange football team up. The Orangemen really took off that time. Gage did an outstanding job of breaking about 3 tackles, picking up the first down. Now they are definitely in field goal range.
And Syracuse started this drive on their own 17-yard line. They're now on the Nebraska 20 with a first down. They're taking it to the Cornhuskers right now. Nebraska leading 7-0 midway in the second period. Gaden again. And he goes over the 15 and gets down to the 13-yard line. He just about goes down, Lenny, and then he recovers balance and keeps going.
Really a good run. They're moving the ball on the ground right now in the last couple of plays. Looking at the first quarter and first down possessions, Nebraska had 6 runs. They averaged 6.1 yards. That puts you in great position on the second down to call whatever you want to do. Right now, that's what Syracuse is doing. They're moving the ball on
hit the turf at the 15, so it's 2nd and 5, Syracuse, on the Nebraska 15. Covington outside. Oh, they covered that play well. It looked like he was streaking for the end zone. And coming up there, Dave Burke, the cornerback, and Brett Clark, the safety, saved that one. He might have gone if he'd have got that outside angle on him.
Yes, sir. He was looking really to go inside, as you can see, but there's nothing there. He jumps to the outside right now. It looks like he's going to outrun some people, but number 10 comes into your scene right there. Brett Clark comes in. Also got help from Dave Burke.
All right, they have a 3rd down and a long yard to go. Grimes comes in at fullback again and 2 tight ends. 3rd and a yard to go on the Nebraska 11. Covington diving. He's over the 10. It's close. Depends where they stopped him up in midair.
He gave it his all, though. He jumped as far as they could. First down.
And they have a 1st and goal to go. And Osborne now.
Kurt, this is really right now. This is the time to throw the football. This is the time to throw the football on a first down situation inside the 10, because I assure you Nebraska is digging in to stop them on first down against the run.
A magnificent march by Syracuse from their own 17. Covington twisting off right tackle, gets to the 8-yard line. Maybe the 7. Let's see where they spot him. This is all tough yardage, as you've heard over the years, inside the 10. Put it on, it's about the 7.5 for a touchdown. 2nd down. Todd Norley. This drive started on the Syracuse 17. So they've gone upfield 33 and 43 down. This is a 76-yard drive that Syracuse has going.
They must come away with
the nation's #1 team.
They've got to come away with some points, though. At least 3.
On 2nd down. And down to the 6-yard line. Covington stopped by Mark Munford.
You recall last week against Rutgers, they got down inside the 5-yard line a couple of times and coughed the football up. And I'm sure that the coaching staff at Syracuse reminded the ball carriers, hey, when we're down there, the most important thing is do not give up the football.
They have not had a turnover today. They had 8 against Rutgers last week. They fumbled it away on Rutgers 1, fumbled it away on Rutgers 2-yard line. Here's a 3rd down and 6 for a touchdown for Syracuse. 7-0 Nebraska. A roll out. What's he going to do? Throws out of the end zone. All right, that was a smart play.
Throw it away, yes.
There was nobody open, and instead of taking the drop back on the 15 with more yardage if they go for a field goal, he got rid of it.
That's why I say on first down inside there, if you're going to throw, that's the time to throw the football because they're anticipating a run. Now, right there on a 3rd and long situation, you know Nebraska is anticipating the pass, so they take off, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and they're really geared against the passing game.
Don McCauley will try a field goal from the 14. This is a 24-yard attempt. 5:11 to go in the half. A long drive now has been stalled, and they'll try and come away with 3. And the kick is up. The kick is good. Syracuse gets on the board. They had a 76-yard drive. They stopped it. They kicked the field goal. Quite a ball game here. The score, Nebraska 7, Syracuse 3. That was a 16-play drive by Syracuse, and you said that they had to do something and rest the defense. The defense got a big rest.
And I think that you'll see right now that that is going to inspire the Syracuse defensive team. That knowing that, hey, we got a little rest now, the offense can move the ball on the #1 team in the nation. And we got a chance.
Paul Miles and Doug DeBose are deep for Nebraska. McCauley will be kicking for Syracuse. That drive consumed a lot of time. You want to stop Nebraska from running up big scores, that's the way to do it. Keep the ball.
You know that their offense, that's what they do against other teams. Nebraska will do that against the opposition. That big offensive line provide the holes. They keep shoving it down your throat, running it on the ground.
There it is, and it is coming to DeBose. Takes it on the goal line. He's jammed in that corner. And they drop him. They cover the kick well. There's a fumble. But I believe the pile-up and the ball had been declared dead. Ron Hobby went down to make the tackle. Nebraska now will put the ball in play on their own 18-yard line. And let's see what the Cornhuskers do now. They'll probably be fired up and go right at them.
Kurt, you notice that the kicker kicked it over to their left side, which makes the coverage on the kickoff a lot easier for the cover team.
DeBose comes off left tackle over the 20 to the 22-yard line. He was met by Rudy Reed, the inside linebacker. Syracuse has really 3 down linemen. Their outside linebackers look like ends. They're standing up. And they have 2 inside linebackers.
Very interesting. Time of possession.
Look at that. Nebraska usually controls the time against their opponent. Syracuse has doubled the time of possession on them in this game. Second down. 6 for Nebraska from their 22. That was Swanson in motion. Here's DeBose. DeBose is dropped at the 27-yard line. I think he's short of a first down, and he's hit by Bernard King, number 34, the inside linebacker. And we're approaching 4 minutes to go in the first half. If this score stands as is and they announce it around the nation, you're going to hear those big roars in the stadia across this country.
The I-back DeBose has over 70 yards rushing with the ball so far.
They got him a first down. First down, Nebraska, under 28. DeBose, he's hit hard. A fumble. He was hit at the 30, racked up by Ted Gregory.
I said that the Syracuse Orangemen would come out of here and start hitting. Now here it is, a pitch out to DeBose, coming out 93.
That was Benning, Mark Benning, the 290-pound tackle that recovered the fumble. Big break for Nebraska there. Second down, 7. Nebraska on their 31. I think there goes DeBose outside. He spins up just short of his 40-yard line. They're going right at him on the ground now. That's their game, that power game.
That was an outstanding block by the fullback, Scott Porter, number 36. It was his responsibility to knock out that cornerback, and he really did a good job. 81 yards, 14 carries for Doug DeBose.
Got a new I-back in there. DeBose, 83 yards. There he is. Fake to him. Sundberg throws. Incomplete. Behind Shane Swanson, number 17. Sundberg didn't quite know what to do there when he got out there because the receiver was covered, and he said, I'm going to let it go anyway.
He does a fine job of really faking with the football and camouflaging that pass, and he did on that time. I think he did so well that he faked out his own receiver.
Jason Gamble is flanked to the right, the only wide man. This is second down, 10 Nebraska from their 40. And that's just a sort of a quick hitter, and it doesn't go for much. The 43-yard line. Scott Porter, the fullback. Now they have a 3rd and 7. Nebraska on their 43. They're leading 7-3. 2:44 to go in the half. Nebraska scored in the first quarter. A 58-yard drive capped off in a 25-yard scoring pass. Syracuse has outplayed Nebraska in the second period.
Syracuse sent in an extra defensive back anticipating the pass.
Grunberg will put it up. Out it goes, and it's complete at the 49.5. John Roos making the tackle on Doug DeBose, who came out of the backfield.
I think it's short of the first
fourth in the yard.
It'll be interesting to see what Tom Osborne will do on his fourth down situation. I think he's going for it.
They're going for it. They have that much confidence in their running game. Crowd on his feet again. They're fourth down and a short yard. They have it. Flags are dropped. Looked like to me Syracuse was offside.
Yes, it did to me, too. I'd wait to see because it was a rather long count. If that's the case, it was a good move by the quarterback.
Offside, Syracuse.
The right side of your screen. There it is. Yes, it looks like green.
In green. Now you sit there that long with that long signal count, and boy, you want to stop him fourth in the yard, and he just couldn't hold back his anticipation.
Well, that's good for the quarterback to know that, to go on a long count or alter the count that you've been giving. Of course, you want to make sure that you tell your offensive people that don't you jump offside.
Nebraska's on the Syracuse 45 with a first down. 1:44 to go in the half. Nebraska's leading 7-3. A fake. They're going to throw. Long. And it is going to be intercepted. Ron Hobby picks it off. They had that play covered.
They really did.
3 men on the receiver.
He did not fool them that time. It was actually a very good play fake. But Hobby is the free safety, the center fielder for Syracuse. He was reading him all the way. Take a look at this. It's a good fake. Coming back, looking downfield, but the defensive backs were not fooled. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them coming into the scene. Big play.
All right, Syracuse will have the ball when we come back here with the score: Nebraska 7, Syracuse 3. That interception by Ron Hobby was his third of the year. Halftime, we have a fine feature on the prevention of football injuries. Ben Schwartz-Walter, the former great coach of Syracuse, will be with us, and Bob Devaney, the athletic director at Nebraska, will drop in here with us. First down, Syracuse. That's Harold Gaydon. He's been picking up good yardage up the middle.
He's been running extremely hard. That was a big play for Syracuse. I figured with 1:32 remaining in the first half, that first down play is going to dictate whether they go into their speed-up offense or not.
We have 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the half. Nebraska being given a stiff struggle here. They're leading 7-3. They have been outplayed in the second quarter widely by Syracuse. This is a second down and 3 play. Will Syracuse open up? No, he's hit that time. That was a fine defensive charge by Chris Bachman, number 76, who got in there. Bachman from Kansas City, Missouri. He was quick across that line of scrimmage.
They're not going into their 2-minute offense or their hurried-up offense. 35 seconds remaining in the half. I think if they had better field position, they would have tried to. But down there inside their 20-yard line, I'm sure they're fearful of putting it up in the air.
Third down and 3 for Syracuse. On their 18-yard line with 18 seconds to go in the half. Covington nearly bobbled it away. Covington pile drives up and may have a first down.
I think he does. 10 seconds remaining. It'd be interesting to see what they do. They can get off another play.
I think they're going to call time. Todd Norley has rushed in and asked for time. And they stopped the clock with 10 seconds to go in the half. On that last tackle, Mark Munford and the safety man, Brett Clark, made the stop. It was 7-0 Nebraska at the end of the first period. They had a 58-yard drive. And then in the second quarter, Syracuse put on a long drive from their own 17. It was stopped after Nebraska 6. They had 16 plays utilized in that drive. They ran a lot of time off on the clock. And then they finally kicked a 24-yard field goal. Nebraska came back and then threw an interception. And so there's a timeout with a score, Nebraska 7, Syracuse 3, and we're going to be right back. 10 seconds to go, a first down, Syracuse trailing 7-3. What's the strategy now, Len?
Well, I would say that you got one play here. Now, I can't imagine why call timeout to run the football. Put the ball up in the air and see what happens. Could get a lucky break. Look at Nebraska. They are so deep. The safety man is 40 yards deep. It looks like he's back for a punt.
And they are going to pass it. He throws it down the field, and it is nearly intercepted by Nebraska.
Well, that's
Mike McCashland, number 2.
Well, I've never done that. I'd have put that ball high up in the air and hope, one of those prayer shots. That's what you should do. Now, he threw that thing on the line. That could have been intercepted and run back.
And he had a couple of men right around him for blocking if he picked that ball off.
Right.
3 seconds.
That's why you put 2 or 3 men on that one particular side of the field, throw it up in the air. And if you have 3 men there, at least you're going to have as many people as the defense is going to have to come up with the football.
3 seconds to go. This should be the last play of the first half. A very entertaining first half.
I think they'll probably run this.
They're going to just drop on it.
Go with your strength.
That'll be the end of the half from the Carrier Dome. Tom Osborne, heavily favored by 28 points. His team has had all they can handle here today in the first half. Syracuse getting ahead as they come off. The score at the end of the first half, Nebraska 7 and Syracuse 3. We'll be back with...
Just before halftime in the middle of University of Texas.
All right, let's take a look at some of the first half statistics, and there's a couple of things that are very interesting. One is the turnovers. Nebraska turned it over twice, once on a fumble, once on an interception, and Syracuse did not turn the football over. Time of possession on the bottom. That is amazing. 19:05 for Syracuse, 10:55 for Nebraska. So those are the 2 things that I'm looking at in the first half that tell us the story about the 7-3 score after one half of play. Another thing on first down situations, Syracuse ran the ball 10 times in the first half. They averaged 5.1 yards against this Nebraska team. That's why the time of possession was so much in favor of Syracuse. Second half kickoff. We're underway.
All right, it comes to Mosley on the goal line. Mosley comes out over the 20. A flag goes down. Now, if this is against Syracuse, right away it could put them in trouble.
Over the 20-yard line. There's a flag.
Individual leader rushing, the sophomore DeBose, 83 yards, and Covington racked up 44 yards in the first half for Syracuse. I think the amazing stat. Let's see what this is. Yeah, that puts them in a hole. That's a holding penalty against Syracuse. The amazing stat, Nebraska's averaged 400 yards rushing a game, 106 in the first half.
They did not have the ball because of Syracuse keeping that ball, particularly in the second quarter. This is the 5th penalty. They had just 4 penalties in the first half, 2 against Syracuse, 2 against Nebraska.
12-yard line.
Syracuse starts in the hole on their own 12-yard line. Gaden and Covington, the running backs. Ciano and Schwade's the wide men. Comes to Covington. Covington gets a couple of yards, and that's all. Number 76 is Chris Bachman. It's Weber, Spockman, Graber, Stuckey, and Strasburger up front for Nebraska. There's that halftime score. Iowa leading Illinois 7-3. Mark Dahm, Mark Munford of the linebackers, Dave Burke, Neil Harris the corners, and McCashlin and Brett Clark of the safety. Auburn 9, Tennessee nothing. Second down, 9. Syracuse. And right on that play is Bachman again as he crossed over from left tackle, number 76. He's played a good game today for the Cornhuskers.
Somebody must have got the attention of that defense saying, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be out on that field that much. You're giving up too much yardage on the ground.
Third down.
Texas leading Penn State second quarter by the score of 14-3. West Virginia over Pitt 14-2. That second quarter score.
Third down, 9 to go Syracuse from their 13-yard line. to throw. And over the head of Schwades. Schwades was being covered by Dave Burke over there, 33. He threw it away, I think.
Yeah, but he had number 45, Jamie Covington, wide open underneath. Now, it wouldn't have been enough for the first down, but that doesn't mean that Covington couldn't break a tackle and pick up the first down. He was just throwing the ball away. Evidently, he did not see his halfback curl up in the flat.
James Fox kicked 3 times for a 34-yard average. When Nebraska gets the ball, they should be in excellent field position.
And I look for Nebraska to come out humping, come out putting that ball on the ground and establishing the line of scrimmage.
Here's the driving spiral. Swanson dives for the ball. It's fumbled. I think he recovered his own fumble. He did. He made a difficult catch out of that.
Well, he sure did. Well, that ball was hooking or curving away from him.
Nebraska will take over on the Syracuse 48-yard line, and we'll be back. The Syracuse bench, Nebraska's ball first down in the Syracuse 48. Sundberg to DeBose. DeBose stopped at the 46th of Syracuse. He likes to do that twist job as he's hit to make the turn, to twist and wrench his way out of a tackle. It's been effective for him sometimes.
Well, that offensive line wants to blow straight ahead out there and let DeBose pick his holes and let him cut back if he has to.
This is second down, 7. They fake it. They're going to throw. Nearly intercepted. Went right through the arms of number 35, the linebacker, Rudy Reed. Again, that Sundberg's a clever faker. He really knows how to hide that ball. But it went right through the arms of the linebacker of Syracuse. There he is, Rudy Reed.
And that was a great fake, but it was a terrible pass. He did have Rudy Reed fake because Rudy was coming up in the line looking for a run. All of a sudden, he turned around to go after the pass.
Now they go to a lone running back. That's Rathman, the fullback. He's back in the game. Coming out is Crane. Crane is dropped at the 40-yard line. Third catch in the game for the tight end, Todd Crane. He's got a touchdown pass. Vic Bellamy, the strong safety, tackled him there.
Defensively, you've got to stop the big plays. Now, here it is. Sundberg's coming back. Look at all the time he had to throw the football. Coming across to his tight end. They do make the hit, but right now it's a 4th down situation, and Nebraska is going for it.
Rathman, the fullback, injured at the start of the game, is starting the second half. And the ball is to DeBose. DeBose. Boy, it's going to be close. Hey, stop him! Syracuse stops him on 4th down. That's got to fire Syracuse up even more, Lenny.
Yes, sir. Number 72, Tim Green, was one man that got penetration, and got his hands on the ball carrier. You see right there, 72, but everybody's around. The ball pops up into the hands of Syracuse. Didn't see that originally.
Syracuse has the ball now on their 41-yard line in a slot right formation. Nebraska heads 7-3. Here comes Covington. Covington. There's a flag down. Covington is stopped at his 43-yard line by Mark Dahm and Scott Strasburger, the right end, and the linebacker. Well, flags are dropping here in a second.
Yeah,
this is a holding against Syracuse.
I think it was number 88, Jim Tate. I'm not for sure, but he was right in front of the official who threw the ball, or threw the flag.
You heard before the game our chats with the two coaches, Osborne and McPherson. And Dick McPherson was honest. He says, look, we can't turn the ball over once in this game to stay close to these fellows, and they haven't made a turnover.
They have not made a turnover. What they've done here, they've had 2 holding penalties here. 2 holding penalties. That one hurt because it's taken them out of good field position when they got the ball back.
1st and 20 now. There are the penalties in the game. 1st and 20 for Syracuse from their 30-yard line. 7-3 Nebraska. 12 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Covington doesn't find much, and he's hit by 51. Mark Dahm, the linebacker. Dahm's been plugging those holes up.
He's been doing really a fine job. First half, he did a good job. Starting out the second half, doing a good job. but they're digging themselves in a hole, particularly on first down. Now, they were averaging 5.1 yards running with the football on first downs in the first half. They're not making anything on first down so far in the second half.
It's second down, 17. Syracuse from their 33. He has the time. Look out. Hit immediately at the 35-yard line is the receiver, Mike Ciano, number 14. Dave Burke came up. Burke, I think, had ideas of gambling for the interception, then decided, now I'm going to take the man.
Well, the ball was thrown low, so it wasn't a very good opportunity for that defensive back to come up with an interception, so he wisely made the hit. Didn't really pick up much on the play.
Third down, 15 for the Syracuse Orangemen. Todd Norley from Warrenton, Pennsylvania, junior. Look out, he's under the gun.
He better get rid of it.
He's got to throw now. And he does throw it to Covington. Covington gets 3 yard. He caught the ball at the 35, the line of scrimmage, and then wriggled forward for 3 more. It's fourth down, 12 to go. Syracuse will have to.
Well, he had a lot of heat back there. Coming right after him is 41, Munford, chasing him out of the pocket. He got rid of the football and had a completion, which saved a big loss on that particular play.
James Fox in punt formation. There's the quarterback, Norley. Boy, it's getting rough. There's a nice high boot. And they let it bounce. They got mixed up who was going to take it. This will put Nebraska in the hole. DeBose looked at Swanson. Swanson looked at DeBose. You take it. No, I'll take it. And they made a mistake and let the ball hit. And Nebraska now is pinned back inside their own 10-yard line. A 57-yard punt, no return. We'll be back. Nebraska 7, Syracuse 3. Nebraska's been penalized for an illegal block. They didn't return the punt, but somebody illegally blocked on it, and they're pinned back now to their 4-yard line. A 57-yard punt. We're going to try and show you the confusion between the 2 safety men of Nebraska. Len, over the years, 28 years of broadcasting baseball, I saw that old Alphonse and Gaston act many times by a couple of outfielders. First down, Nebraska on their 4. There's Paul Miles in there at tailback now, and they're just trying to get out of trouble down there and get some operating room. He gives it out to the 8. Here's that replay on the 2 safety men.
The 2 men back there are supposed to be communicating. They're supposed to be talking. One says me, or you. But there, do you see there that DeBose took a look over? No one said anything. So they didn't know who was going to come up with a football. And what they did, they put themselves in terrible field position. And they picked up 4 yards on first down, looking at a 2nd and 6 situation right now.
They have a 2nd down, 6. Paul Miles, a junior, Princeton, New Jersey. He's a tailback now. He has the ball. And he stumbles across the 10 and out to the 13. He's not far from a first down. They just want to grind out a couple of first downs and then let the offense really blow and go to work. 7-3 Nebraska. 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Miles has averaged 4.2 yards a carry. And they brought a freshman here from Omaha named Keith Jones. But Jeff Smith, he'll be the 3rd-string high back. Jones broke Gale Sayers' record in high school at the Omaha High School. You'll be hearing a lot from him before he's through at Nebraska. He's suited up today. We may even see him. They have DeBose back in, and DeBose has the first down. As he storms out to the 19-yard line. He's been the leading ball carrier.
Good cutback by that young man, number 22, DeBose, because he was headed to the right and cut back to the inside. Here you are taking a look at what he's looking at. See? It's off to the outside, is close. He cut back to the inside. He knew he only needed a yard or 2 to pick up the first down, and he did.
2 amazing stats. Nebraska had only 100 yards rushing in the first half, and Syracuse, in possession of time, had the ball a lot more than Nebraska. There goes DeBose. They rack him up, and coming up to hit him is Bernard King. Timmy Green, the right tackle, slowed him down.
High formation. Here we are once again taking a look at the backfield. He started to his right. This is a counter play. Going back to his left. Green is there, also number 35, Rudy Reed, the linebacker, coming up and putting the finishing touches on DeBose.
Second down, 6, Nebraska. They're on their 23-yard line. Here's the option play to throw it away. DeBose falls on the ball. They had the option, they're starting the option, sliding down the line of scrimmage, made a bad pitch. And Nebraska loses yardage. And that's Rudy Reed, who's down on the carpet out there, the linebacker injured. He's played a good game today. That's a loss of 13. Look at Osborne. He never changes expression.
No, he doesn't. This is the option by the quarterback. The quarterback does not look at the man that he's throwing the ball to. He's looking at that defensive back. Now, he has to have the touch to throw it softly to his back. He threw it too hard and passed 22 DeBose. DeBose wisely, I think, fell on the football rather than trying to pick it up, maybe fumbling it.
That's a Syracuse man down, Rudy Reed. You know, one of the best I ever saw doing that option to pitch out was Jack Mildred. Remember him, the quarterback of Oklahoma?
I knew you weren't going to say me because that was never in my playbook to go down the line of scrimmage and challenge a big
I don't think you would want to do that. Tom Pidgeon, 54, will replace Rudy Reed. Of course, I think when they call it the game of the century, I don't know how you could ever see a better game, was that 71 Nebraska-Oklahoma game, 35-31 to Nebraska won. Classic. It is now third down and 19 for Nebraska from their 10-yard line. Sunbird is hit and dropped inside the 5. Tim Green. Yeah, right tackle Tim Green got to him. Green can play, I'll tell you.
That was confusion back there. It looked to me like that he actually wanted to hand off on a draw play, but there was a mix-up in the backfield. Sundberg ended up with a football, but I do not believe that he wanted the football. You can see how the fans are reacting. Look at it. He's coming back. Looks like he wanted to hand off to DeBose, but DeBose was not in the right spot, or he missed the handoff.
All right, a pressure punt now by Scott Livingston. He can't stand on that end line. He boots it away. Scott Swades will have to watch it hit. It'll still be in Nebraska territory. Syracuse will have excellent position. They'll have the ball on the Nebraska 39 when they take over. The timeout on the officials. The timeout on the field with the score. Nebraska 7, Syracuse 3, and we'll be right back. This is Kurt Gowdy and Len Dawson. We're in the third period, 6:44 to go. The score is 7-3 Nebraska. Syracuse has the ball on the Nebraska 39 with a first down.
Kurt, I think what they need to do is they haven't the whole game come up to the line of scrimmage and go on a quick count, get off in a hurry. They're letting that Nebraska defense get set in there. As you can take a look right now, it's not a quick count.
There's a reverse to Swades. Swades outside, 40, 35, and boy, did they roll him out.
You can credit Jerry Allen, that defensive end or outside linebacker, for stopping that play, because had he been able to turn the corner on him, he would have had a big game. See, that's Dick McPherson, the coach. Now here it is, the reverse, faking, pitching it back to Swades. He's coming around, but number 90 right there, Allen. He's got the angle on him. Or Strasburger, I'm sorry. Allen's on the other team. He would never knock his own man out of bounds.
Swades is out. He was shaken up. Jamie Covington to the 30-yard line. He's about a yard short of a first down. Jamie Covington has been the top ball carrier all year for Syracuse. He's from Queens, New York, a senior, 210 pounds. He has power and he can move. 3rd and 1 now for Syracuse on the Nebraska 30. Mike Ciano's out, and the double tight end setup goes in. Marty Chalk and Jim Tate. They want some blocking power. There's your third down conversions for Syracuse.
I would think, Kurt, that they're thinking 2 downs here at this territory. If you don't make it third down, go for it on 4th down.
Quarterback sneak by Norley. And I don't know. I would have think he might have it. But I don't have to unstack him out there.
That is true. If he made it, didn't make it by much. That's, to me, one of the worst plays that you can have.
Why?
Well, because you have no momentum as a quarterback. Yeah. You take the snap, and if there's a man that makes any penetration whatsoever, you're not going anyplace. Here it is. He's going straight ahead. Good blocking by the left guard and the center, but not a hole up there. Taking a look at, here's Nebraska down low. And they're getting some penetration. big pile up there where they're measuring it right now, and they did make the first down.
They got it. Syracuse first down on the Nebraska 29-yard line.
The reason I say that quarterback sneak is that good because a back, if he gets to the line of scrimmage, he has the opportunity, if they're submarining, to leap over the line. But as you can see, the quarterback cannot do that from when he's standing still.
The closest to the score is an upset, but so is the possession time. We'll talk about that in a moment. There goes Gayton. He has a hole. Gayton flagged down, though. Somebody might have held or flipped or did something. Gayton carries that ball up in the air with one hand. He's vulnerable for a fumble.
Here it is, going to the left side, and he cuts back to the right. He sees the hole right there, takes off, and you can tell where you're right by how he's carrying the football. And you're struggling for yards, you better get a good grasp on that football because one little flick at the arm around the wrist, and the ball's going to come loose.
That's a damaging penalty for Syracuse because they would have had a second down and a couple of yards to go. They had a good chunk of yardage in that running play. All right, just puts the ball back on the 40-yard line in Nebraska. And it's going to make it first down and 20. In the first half, Syracuse had the ball 19 minutes and 5 seconds. Nebraska 10 minutes and 55 seconds. And Syracuse had the ball more in this quarter. They've almost doubled the time of possession on the Cornhuskers. Historically, it's usually the other way around. Anytime Nebraska plays. Here's a screen. Nobody there. It's all a mix-up. It was intended for Schwades. He started down the field. He wasn't back behind his screen blockers.
That quarterback right there had better locate who he's throwing the football before he throws it. This is not a blind man's game. I mean, he looked over there and threw the football anticipating somebody being over there in the screen. Got to get the communication lines opened up.
There's quite a guy, that Dick McPherson. He's got one of the warmest personalities I've ever met.
Yes, he is.
Second down, 21 to go. Corley out of the pocket. There's a deep one for Ciano. He got it! Touchdown! Mike Ciano! Norley is down, by the way. He's been hurt.
Norley gets hit just as he releases the football. Right there, you can see his knee is getting twisted around, but Ciano comes up with an outstanding reception between two of the defensive men for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 14. Ciano's going down. Takes a little bit, now he's taking off, and he's going to have a step on the defensive back. Not much, though, but he just does a terrific job of concentrating on the football and coming up with the reception. That's the good news. The bad news is back at the 45-yard line, Norley is on the turf.
And his knee, I think he's hurt his knee.
He did.
He's quarterbacked almost a perfect game today. No, not many mistakes. He ate the ball a couple of times in the first half when he should have dumped him. But he is limping off, and he put up a perfect pass that time to Ciano. A big league catch, too, Lynn.
I think that we could see, if we get a replay again, when he gets rid of the football, how he gets tackled. His leg is planted. He has to plant that leg to get the thrust and be able to throw the ball 50 yards downfield, and it got twisted.
All right, now Syracuse going for their 113th point in a row. The all-time record held by Oklahoma, 135 extra points in a row. But they scored a lot more. Their kick is good. And our score now, with 4:50 to play in the third period, is Syracuse 10 and Nebraska 7. Syracuse will kick off. We're trying to get a word on Norley, the quarterback, who just threw that touchdown pass to put Syracuse ahead.
Let's take a look at the replay and take a look at his left foot when he plants it. When you plant your left foot, that gives you the thrust. Now there it's planted, and there he's hit. As he hits the ball, the knee is turned. He's at the mercy of that man. Nothing you can do about it. But good news, you can see him now. He's moving around a lot better. That's youth for you, Kurt.
Yeah.
But that you're in such a vulnerable position as a quarterback because you must plant that front foot to get the thrust.
What are they going to take him in there and tape him, do you think, or what?
Yes, probably.
Because he's moving around pretty well. All right, here's the kickoff. DeBose and Swanson are deep. DeBose on the goal line. Oh, is he racked up? Is he hit down there? 52. Gave him a shot. Derek Ward, Peter Ewald, 26, and Peter Ewald. What you've got now is what you see in college football over the years, a team that is so inspired. Look at them.
They are going down and flying. DeBose takes the ball and is end zone. He's coming up, and you're going to see his body flying. 26 is Peter Ewald, and he is the man that got the shot. They're sacrificing their bodies as far as Syracuse is concerned, and when you see plays like that on the kickoff, you know they are inspired. You can see what that touchdown did for the Orangemen, Syracuse.
And the highly capable tight end of Nebraska, Todd Sprain, is down. He scored the lone Nebraska touchdown. He's caught 3 passes today. He got hurt on the kickoff. Rathman, their starting fullback, was hurt on the opening kickoff, did not play the rest of the first half, but came back to open the second half. And Jeff Smith, their starting I-back, warmed up, and they decided not to suit him up today with an injured ankle. Sprain's all right. There he goes.
Kurt, isn't it amazing when a team has success in one phase of their football team, how it inspires the rest of the team?
Well, they're inspired, but I've seen Nebraska. I saw him come back twice in the fourth quarter in the Orange Bowl against Miami. It's a poised team, and team used to success. They know how to win. They're on their 11-yard line with a first down. They give it to the fullback. It's Rathman, and he's racked up there. Ed Gregory, Rudy Reed, he's back in the game. He was in on the play. This is very premature. There's only 4.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. But if Syracuse would ever hang on to this win, it would be one of the greatest upsets of all time in Syracuse football history. The pass is complete. Or is it? Out of bounds. They call it out of bounds. He caught the ball. He was way away from me. I couldn't see where he had that 1 foot in bounds or not. That's Swanson, number 17. Now they're presented with a 3rd and 8. They've allowed only 1 touchdown, Syracuse, in their last 7 games. The strength of their team, they thought this year, was defense. They have 8 starters back from their defensive unit of last year.
Well, they're showing that today. But you are right about this Nebraska football team. They're a veteran team, and they have a great deal of talent.
There goes Swanson in motion. This is a 3rd down play and 8 to go. And it is incomplete. Intended for DeBose coming out of the backfield. They were all over him.
There's about 3 or 4 defenders around there. I'm surprised that he threw the football in that direction. They're getting Nebraska away from their game plan, what they like to do. Nebraska generally likes to run the ball about 5 times to a pass. They're putting them in a position where they're clamping down on first down, forcing them to throw the football on 2nd and 3rd.
All right, it's punt formation. Scott Livingston. Wadeys is deep, the sophomore. A high kick, a fair catch. Wadeys handles it on the 48. The kid has an excellent pair of hands. I think he's a pro prospect. He's a sophomore, but he has 2 things: sure hands and quick feet. Next Saturday on the KATZ Sports Network, the rising Mid-Atlantic power East Carolina takes on Pittsburgh, and more Big 8 action as the Buffaloes of Colorado meet the Tigers of Missouri. Check your local listings for time and station. Syracuse on their 48-yard line with a first down. Syracuse is ahead in the game, 10-7. 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. That's Gaden tumbling to the 50-yard line and no more. Second down, 8. The tackle by Danny Noonan. They alternate those men up front on defense for Nebraska. It is second down, 8.
Now is not the time for Syracuse to become very conservative against this team. 3:39 remaining in the third quarter, so there's a lot of time left in the football game.
That's right. Nebraska can score so quickly on you. Piano to the right, Swade's to the left, Swade's to the right, second down 8. Norley's back in, and he throws the ball. It's complete to Covington, just short of the Nebraska 45. Just a little back going out, coming back to the ball. Here's the attendance today, 47,280 in the Carrier Dome. Now it's on the Nebraska 45-yard line, and they have a third down and 4. Jim Tate, the tight end, replaces Marty Schott.
Yeah, Jim Tate is a better receiver, they feel, than Schott.
Third and 4 for Syracuse. Incomplete. Gayden was open. He would have had a first down. Harold Gayden, 47. Couldn't hold on to it. He's a little mad at himself.
Mark Down, number 51, is the linebacker who is dogging him. Coming out of the backfield. Here it is right there, but it hits him in a bad spot, I guess, right in the hand. That would have been a big first down for Syracuse. Good throw by Norley.
James Fox, and back as a double safety, DeBose and Swanson are talking. They, there they are. See them?
Yeah,
hey,
right
if it comes that way, if it comes down the middle, you take it.
They want to get on both get on the same wavelength.
Trying to pooch it up. It's an excellent kick. Let's see where it goes. In the end zone for a touchback. Nebraska will take over on their 20-yard line with a first down. Send money.
What else is new, huh?
That hasn't changed in 100 years of collegiate life. All right, we have 2:36 to go in the third quarter. 10-7 Syracuse over Nebraska, the nation's #1 team. Greg Sundberg steps him down. Swanson the wingback. This is DeBose. DeBose cutting back. Picks up 5 yards to the 25. And he was taken there by number 90, Jerry Allen of Randallstown, Maryland.
That time, the offensive line had a little more intensity on that play than they had in the earlier situation when they got possession of football. They were really firing out on that last play.
DeBose has 99 yards in the game now on 20 carries. That is Sundberg, who kept the ball on the option. He had everybody fooled. 2 of his running backs are being smacked around. They thought they had the ball.
Just said a minute ago that this is an explosive Nebraska football team. And there are no mirrors out there. There are good blocks out there, and that's how to do it. Number 67 is Drake Orton. He makes a good block. He pushes his man right out of the way right there. Hobby enabling the quarterback to pick up additional yards. They're now on 45-yard line.
So Nebraska now with some operating room. First down. The fullback, Rathman, nudges ahead to the 48-yard line. Taken by Tim Green. Nebraska moving now, but the time of possession is way in favor of Syracuse. They've had the ball about twice as much as Nebraska today.
This is the first time, really, in the second half that Nebraska has started to look like a team that's going to be moving the ball. 26 minutes, 10 seconds for Syracuse. A little over 16 minutes for Nebraska.
We're approaching 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Syracuse ahead, 10-7. Sundberg throws a pass. Fine diving catch that time by Swanson. Shane Swanson. This is slant pattern. And it's on the 46 of Syracuse. It'll give him a third down and a yard to go. Sort of that reverse pivot, isn't it?
Yes, and he's
the
looking
full
for
turn. Yeah.
Man-to-man coverage, which he found out on the flank. And I expect they don't make it on this down. They'll go for it on fourth down.
Third and a yard. Rathman files over the 45 to the 43 of Syracuse. First down, Nebraska on the Syracuse 43. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Nebraska is doing what they like to do now. They're running that football, trying to maintain control of that offensive and defensive line.
Cornhuskers coming up. Sundberg keeps it, throws a pass. He's out in the open. He just misses Cottrane. Cottrane was in the open. Ball was just out of his reach, or he would have had 6 points.
Oh, he was open. They say never up, never in, but
Is that right?
well, he would like to have that one back because the first half, first quarter, he found his man Frayne open. He threw the touchdown pass to him. That time he had him open by a step or two, but he missed it.
Second down, 10 for the Cornhuskers on the Syracuse 43. Draw play, doesn't make it. They hit. Rudy Reed came in there and hit the ball carrier, DeBose, and he stumbled and lost his balance.
Yeah, he had.
And there's the end of the third quarter. Last year, at the end of 3 periods, Nebraska led 56-0. What a difference a year makes. Here at the end of the third quarter, a year later in Syracuse, the score is Syracuse 10 and Nebraska 7. It's 44 with a 3rd and 9. As we open the fourth quarter, a sack. There's that Tim Green in there again. Number 72. They had a fumble at the end, but I think there's a whistle already, boy. Ooh, that Green is quick off the ball.
Well, there is size, there is strength, but then there is quickness. And you got to have quickness. Take a look at number 72, beating his man, throwing him aside, getting right to the quarterback, sacking him for a big sack, starting the fourth period of play with Syracuse leading 10-7.
Fourth down and tons to go, and Nebraska will kick. Wadeys is deep for Syracuse. Green's 9th sack of the year, by the way, and his 2nd today. 9 sacks already for the tackle. There's a beautiful kick. High one, and it is... What is it?
Into the end zone.
I think they call a touchback on it. Bounced in the end zone and sort of twist the back. It's a touchback. A 54-yard punt by Nebraska. We're going to be back here with the score: Syracuse 10, Nebraska 7.
Catch the rain, feel the heat, breathe on out through the summer beat, turn it loose with the silver bullet. All you have to do is pull it, grab a hold of a cold Coors Light. The flavor's heavy the way.
In his 4th year here, right now sitting on top of a 10-7 lead. Syracuse has the ball on their 20. Todd Norley, the quarterback. To Covington. Covington plows forward to the 25-yard line. And the tackles were by Mark Munford and Brett Clark. We're going to take a look at the total yards after 3 quarters. Here they are. Rushing, Nebraska's been held to 137, way below their usual average. 91 passing, 198 to 176. Nebraska slide edge. Cornhuskers usually around 500 yards a game.
They average over 400 rushing.
Just rushing alone. Second down 5 for the Orange men. Covington again. He doesn't make it. He's out to the 28 or 29-yard line. Mark Munford and Mark Don, the 2 linebackers, were in there on him. 41 and 51. It is now on the 28 and a half. It's about a 3rd and a long yard to go.
Taking the wide receivers out, bringing in the tight end, looking to muscle the ball forward for about a yard.
You just joined us. This is Kurt Gowdy and Len Dawson. We're early in the fourth quarter. Syracuse is ahead of number 1 Nebraska 10-7. He doesn't make it. Mark Covington. That would have been one of those old Bart Starr plays. A fake into the line, raise up, and hit somebody for a long pass.
Well, you could see defensively that everybody was piled up there. That would have been really a great opportunity to throw the football. At least you do it early, Kurt. And later on, when you get into a situation like that, that may make them think twice about putting everybody up on the line of scrimmage defensively.
Swanson and DeBose are back as safety men. Now let's see what Nebraska does. Will they go after the kicker, or will they peel back for the return? James Fox has kicked well. He's had 2 over 50 yards. Boots it away, and Swanson takes it. Starts to return right, and he's down. He lost yardage. Down there to cover the kick is number 6, Tim Rosalski, who's a nickelback in the defense. 40-yard cut, and an 8-yard loss on the return. So Nebraska takes over again deep in their own territory. And we'll be back right after this. First down, they're trailing 10-7. The most and Rathman are the running back. Fumble. Syracuse ball.
Hobby, I believe, yes. Ron Hobby, number 10, the free safety, who already intercepted one in the first half.
The third turnover for Nebraska. They fumble it away on their 28-yard line. Syracuse now with a great chance to put more points up there. Look at that. No turnovers. Syracuse turned the ball over 8 times last week against Rutgers. Slot right formation. Norley to Covington. Covington. Ooh, was he hit there by Brett Clark, number 10. He's probably the finest all-around defensive player. He's from Nebraska City, a senior 200-pounder who is a hitter.
Yes, and Covington is coming out of the game after that hit, too.
Going in is Roland Grimes to replace him. Second down, 9 for Syracuse on the Nebraska 27. 11:40 to play in the game. 10-7 Syracuse. A fake. Look out, he throws it. Then complete. The flag is down. This might be, well, it could be intentionally throwing the ball away. Maybe holding. Could be roughing the passer. I don't know. We'll find out.
I think probably holding. It looked like it was intentionally grounding the ball. He was trying to get rid of it. That's what he was doing. But they're
holding against Syracuse. They've had 4 major penalties in this second half.
Well, that's a bad penalty for Syracuse because they were getting right into field goal range.
Osborne says take the penalty.
Sure, get them back. I think if they take the penalty, if they don't pick up the first down, they should be out of McCauley's field goal range.
This coach is a little bit unhappy now, even though he's in the lead.
I noticed earlier on the last series that offensive right tackle for Syracuse, Doug Marone, came over and he was complaining about his leg, and I see that they've taped up his leg in the thigh area, so maybe he pulled a muscle or something.
That's a 5-yarder. Illegal use of the hands, not holding. Illegal use of the hands. On the 32-yard line of Nebraska. It's second down now. And 14 to go. Second and 14. Syracuse ball. Big rush on him. That is incomplete. Pass was intended for 88. The tight end, Jim Tate, but he had pressure on him. Todd Norley did. Let's see some other scores coming up. 3rd and 14. Illinois and Iowa 14-3 now. Iowa in the 4th quarter. Vanderbilt, Alabama's come back. They're leading Vanderbilt 3rd quarter 13-9. Texas over Penn State 20-3. Clemson and Georgia. Georgia Tech 14. Clemson nothing.
Bill Curry's got that team playing very well.
3rd down and 14. The rush is on. He throws, and it's intercepted by Nebraska. Coming out with the ball is Burke. He's still going, and he skips out of bounds. They look out over there, getting a little hot.
Well, somebody tackled the ball carrier way out of bounds.
So that's the first turnover charged against Syracuse. And Nebraska has the ball now on their own 27-yard line. We have 11 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in this game. Syracuse is leading Nebraska 10-7. Nebraska's ball. They want to start one of those famous long marches of theirs. I think he's called an audible at the line of scrimmage. He gives the pitch to DeBose. DeBose cuts through. He's hit by number 34, Bernard King, who got to him first. DeBose is over 100 yards now.
First, the last time they had the ball, they started off running very well with the football. Then all of a sudden on first down, they came up and threw the football. It was incomplete, although he did have his tight end open. I look for Osborne right now to say, hey, we're going out and we're going to establish that line of scrimmage and we're going to run with the football.
It's 2nd down and 3. Not 4. 2nd and 3. Got 7 yards in that carry. Here's DeBose again. Somebody hit him. That was 34. Bernard King. 2nd tackle in a row for King. He really took him and spun him backwards.
Oh, he got him going in the opposite direction. That was an outstanding hit. Defensively for Syracuse, they are still popping out there, playing very well.
Nebraska now faced with a 3rd and 1. And a little over 10 minutes to play. 10-7, Syracuse ahead. 107 yards for Doug DeBose, the sophomore in this game. This is his 2nd 100-yard game of the season. And the fullback, Rathman, is stopped.
Well, Ted Gregory, the nose tackle, got great penetration on that play.
There's the quarterback of Syracuse, Todd Norley. Jerry Allen in. All right, what do you do now? Do you go for it or you punt?
Oh, they're going to punt the ball. But look at the penetration by the nose tackle. He's in through there. The defensive line coming up to stack it up right at the line of scrimmage. Right now, Syracuse defensively is playing inspired football.
There's Green, who's been outstanding. 9 sacks in the year, 2 today. A couple of key tackles. Tim Green. Punt formation. Scott Livingston to boot it. Wade's the safety man. Gets a fine kick away again. Wade's takes it on his 25.
Oh, that's the wrong way to go.
He's down on his 21-yard line. And going down on the tackle for Nebraska to make that hit is number 58, Harry Grimminger. So there's a timeout now in the field in the 4th quarter with a score. Syracuse 10 and Nebraska came in here averaging just over 40 points a game. They scored in the 1st quarter and they've been shut out since.
Well, Kurt, they averaged 531 yards of offense per game, over 400 yards rushing. Syracuse defense has done an outstanding job.
Here's Covington back in. Covington down on his 24-yard line. Coming up to hit him for Nebraska was Brett Clark and Mark Dahm. And number 90 chased the play, Scott Strasburger.
Boy, it looked like he was really going to have something there, but defensively for Nebraska closed it in a hurry. It looked like he was going to jump to the outside, but you see the hit coming up right there on Covington. Still picked up 4 yards.
2nd down, 6. Syracuse on their 24. They're leading 10-7. It's Covington on a reverse. And jumping right on him is number 81, Brad Smith. 2nd string left in of Franklin, Nebraska. That's going to put the ball on the 20, I'll call it the 26. They've got a 3rd down and 5. Last year, Nebraska beat Wyoming 56-20. Beat Syracuse 63-7. Beat Colorado 69-19. Beat Iowa State 72-29 and beat Kansas 67-13. And today they've been stopped with 7 points.
Blitz is on.
Schwades went down and came back. They got a mix-up on the route. He thought it was going to be a fly pattern with Schwades just streaking down the sideline. Schwades thought it was a comebacker, so they got mixed up.
If the all-out blitz, he thought that maybe Schwades ripped the blitz because they were coming after Norley, the quarterback. And generally in that situation, you go one-on-one, go up top because it's man-to-man coverage.
I forgot to give one other score last year. Nebraska 84, Minnesota 13. They had 4 scores over 60 points they racked up against the opponent. Here's the kick. He just got it away, nearly blocked. And it takes a Syracuse roll. It's inside the 35. It's still going.
They got to get away from it.
And it's going down to the 27-yard line of Nebraska.
They got a flag down over there on the 40-yard line. That might have something to do with the fair catch signal. I don't know.
Yeah, he gave a sort of a half-hearted fair catch signal. That was a 48-yard punt. You might have have a legal signal for a fair catch.
I think they may take him back a little further.
He didn't really get his arm up there. It's a bit confusing. Here's Sundberg. Here's what is it Osborne says?
Legal participation by the white. Penalized from the previous spot will give them first down. Back here.
Well, they're coming back with it. I saw an extra man come on the field. They had an illegal man on the field. They had 12 men. You saw him run on there late trying to put his helmet on. I was just about to comment on that, saying Lenny is at a 12th man.
The heck of a break. By the white. First down.
That gives him a first down. Too many men on the field on the punt. Even though they had a good punt that sent Nebraska back, this gives Syracuse more time to control the clock. 7.5 minutes to play. Syracuse ahead of Nebraska 10-7 on the Syracuse 41-yard line. Now Nebraska will be trying to force turnover. There's Covington. Covington breaks through. He's bulldogged and goes down. Almost looks like they got him around the face mask, but they didn't.
They either got him around the face mask or right around the neck because he went down. Here's a hole. First down play. First time on first down that they've done exceptionally well. Here, right there. Wow. 81 is fifth. Nice block by him. Now here it is.
We have a second down, 3 to go. Syracuse on their 48. But Gaydon has it, and he just sort of lowers that head and nudges over the 50-yard line, squirms into Nebraska territory where he's close to a first down. Danny Noonan, Jim Scow, the two second-string tackles, stopped him there.
Let's get 6:30 remaining in this football game. And they're at midfield. If they get a drive going now, it's going to be tough on Nebraska to come back.
Roland Grimes comes in at fullback with some blocking power. Piano, who made the marvelous catch for the touchdown for Syracuse, goes out. This is third down and inches to go at the 50-yard line for Syracuse. And I believe he made it. He was stopped initially, but after he was stopped, Nebraska sort of let up, and then he went bang right forward again.
Second effort got him the first down, but here it is. You can take a look. He's got his left knee wrapped because he got it twisted earlier, and they were really zero in and submarining on that. They were looking for it. Take a look at that. See, everybody's really down, roots down to the ground right there. He's stopped there, but he gets that second effort. And he had the right leg. See, the right leg is the strong leg, and that's one he was pumping, trying to get the first down.
He's like one of those hogs. He kept rooting.
Yeah, he got it. Just made it.
Syracuse is on the Nebraska 49-yard line with a first down, and now the time is critical.
That is. This I'd love to see a play pass right here on first down because I'm sure Nebraska is thinking, hey, we got to stop them with 6 minutes to go on first down.
Syracuse has had one turnover. Covington on a cutback, and he lunges forward to the 46-yard line. Mike McCashlin and Mark Munford in the secondary. Let's check his running today. Covington is carried 27 times for 79 yards. 27 for 79.
Tough yardage, though, too.
Oh, every yard was earned.
He had to work for him. He almost had his head torn off here a couple plays ago.
Second down. And 7. Syracuse on the Nebraska 46. Covington again, and he's hit for a loss. They piled the interference up, stripped it. 76, Chris Bachman really did the stripping. Number 90, Scott Strasburger was in there, the right end, and Ken Graber, the middle guard. Now it's on the 47-yard line. It is third down, 8 to go. They're in Nebraska territory as Tom Osborne trying to rally his troops. The Nebraska's behind 10-7, 4:40 to go in the game. A major upset of the making here.
Particularly if they get a first down now with 4.5 minutes remaining in the game.
Nebraska, of course, has the capabilities to storm back. Norley throws. Look out. He's back at the 25. Great grab down there by Scott Swady. This kid can catch the ball under pressure.
And he catches it in his hand. This time, Norley has protection. He had enough time to look around. Take a look at the protection. He looks one spot, looks another. Now he steps up and fires the ball. Watch him catch the football in his hand. Love to see that. Good soft hand. Comes up with a big first down. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this football game. They're on the 26-yard line.
First down on the Nebraska 26. Todd Norley to Covington. Has a hole. He's over the 20. He's to the 17 of Nebraska. Brought down from behind by Mark Munford, number 41. And Chris Bachman, the left tackle.
Kirk, did you notice when he got through the hole, how he got both arms around that football? He does not want to cough it up. Look at that. Both arms around it right now as he's coming in to make contact. Good blocking by the left side of that offensive line of Syracuse. They are moving it closer to the goal line of Nebraska.
3:30 to play. A grim Tom Osborne. His number one team is trailing 10-7, and they're being threatened again by this inspired Syracuse club. 28-point underdog. Gayden over to 15 to the 14 for a first down. Harold Gayden. The tackles by Chad Daffer and Chris Bachman. They move the yardstick. Syracuse on the Nebraska. 14 as the clock spins away. Osborne says, come on, hit somebody. Let's get a fumble here.
The one thing that Nebraska has to look for is a turnover.
They're going to try and claw that ball loose. First down, Syracuse on the Nebraska 14. Covington, 15, 10, 5. He's down to the 1.
There was a great block by Harold Gate, number 47, that sprung him loose. Terrific block. Covington taking the ball down inside the 2-yard line. Number 47 is Harold Gaydon. Number 47 right there. Watch the block that he makes. Bam! Knocks him out. Gets to the inside. Takes it down inside the 2-yard line.
Covington comes out. You get Morris in there, number 25. Covington has 99 yards. First and goal to go. They give it to Morris, and he is stopped. But the clock now is down to 2:19. Desperation time for Tom Osborne and his Nebraska team.
One thing about sending in a ball carrier who has not handled the football, Kurt, you know, the rest of the guys are accustomed to handling the football, and they know that they're not going to cough it up. We're taking a look at Covington coming back in the football game.
Yeah, they have to have him in there. Second down, 2 to go for a Syracuse touchdown. The 14th play of a drive that started on the Syracuse 21.
They got 5 seconds to get this play off. They better get moving. 2, 1.
They just got it off. That's Gayton, and he is stopped by the middle guard, Ken Graber, who dug in under there. Clock moving now to a minute. And here's a timeout going to be taken, I believe. Timeout is called by Nebraska.
Sure.
Stop the clock.
Yes. Good move on their part because they have to stop them on this 3rd-and-1 situation, force them into a field goal attempt.
Well, there's the score. 1:34 to go, and we'll be back after this message. That's Tom Osborne. You saw Dick McPherson in that promo we just did with his arms up in the air, and his arms will be up in the air if his team can hold on here. 1:34 to play. Syracuse has a 3rd down, a yard to go for a touchdown. Syracuse has held the ball 7.5 minutes on this big drive. They have run up 141 yards rushing. Nebraska 143. Again, I credit the Syracuse defense which has stopped the awesome ground game in Nebraska. Nebraska came in here averaging 400 yards on the ground.
Nebraska must stop Syracuse, must force them into a field goal situation. If Syracuse scores a touchdown, it is all over. They got a 3-point lead right now. A touchdown would give them either 9 or 10, and there's no way, I don't think, that Nebraska can catch up from there.
Here's the third down play coming up. 3rd and a yard to go. The crowd quiets down. This is Gaden. Gaden scores! Syracuse scores!
No doubt on this one. Right at that right side of the offensive line, Doug Marone, Steve Ante. And the tight end coming over there is Marty Chalker, providing the hold to get him into the end zone for a touchdown. Here it is, ground level. You're looking right down at the ground level. See the blocking coming out there. Good blocking by the Syracuse offensive line, getting into the score, which could all but wrap it up.
They're going now for their 114th extra point in a row. The kick is up by McCauley. It's good. They have a 10-point lead with 1:29 to go. They were 28-point underdogs coming into this game. Everybody wondered. They got beat by this club last year, 63 to something. Terrible. They were behind at 3/4, 56 to nothing.
Their defense really...
But this is a year later.
Let's take a look at that one more time. The right side, right offensive line. Coming over at round 62 is Valenti coming around making a block, providing the hole, getting him into the end zone. I know that he was concerned about picking up the football, but once he crossed that plane into the end zone, it is 6 points.
And this is a team that was shut out last week by Rutgers, 19 to nothing. Not discrediting Rutgers. Rutgers gave Penn State quite a game in their opening game.
I think what it says is you cannot afford to turn the ball over to the opposition too many times, particularly in certain situations. Last week, this man's team, McPherson's team, gave up the football twice inside the 5-yard line. When you get opportunities to score, like the last time that Syracuse was down there against Nebraska, you have to take advantage of it and come away with points.
There's Dick McPherson talking to Todd Norley.
They got a 10-point lead. Now, with 1:29 remaining in this football game, the only thing Nebraska can hope for is to hit them quickly with a touchdown, an onside kick, and then something else.
Best way to do is run this kickoff back for a touchdown.
Well, the last time that Syracuse covered the kick, they did a terrific job on it.
There's a long boot, and it is...
Won't be run out.
Touched back, and Nebraska will have the ball on their 20-yard line with a first down. I have to give this quarterback credit, Norley. He's not one of these protect, but now they're going to do quarterback in for Nebraska. And coming on is Travis Turner, number 14, a junior. But Norley is quarterback, almost a perfect game. Calling the game along with the coach's help, handling the ball, only 1 turnover, and that didn't hurt him.
Plus, he got hurt. And on the touchdown pass, he hurt his knee. He left the field to get his knee taped. Came back and led him on that last touchdown drive.
Travis Turner now the quarterback. Let's see what he does. He's going to throw the ball. And he is being run out of there. He throws on the run, and he sails it out of bounds. 8 seconds used on the clock. We have a flag down, I think.
And maybe it's back there.
Yeah, that's intentionally grounding. Intentionally grounding.
Kurt, one thing I don't understand when you get into a situation, 1:29 remaining in these 2 scores, is why worry about a play pace?
Covered college football for a lot of years, and I think the greatest, maybe charm is not the right word, the greatest thing about the entire game is the upset. At any time, anything can happen, and it's always, to me, the great story of the game. When one team is just mentally and physically more ready to play than the other team, no matter how big of an underdog it is. Syracuse is just more ready to play today. Inspired is the only word you can use.
Here comes Tim Smith. Or Green, I think.
He goes out of bounds, and he stops the clock with 1:13 to go.
Tim Green
point lead.
Boy, he's been playing outstanding the whole game. He's getting great penetration. Number 72, the All-American candidate.
I told you before the game, he's a player. I saw him against Maryland. And this guy, I don't think he's big enough for a pro tackle or guard, but I'll tell you what he can play. It's like the Penn State former tackle at the linebacker. Yeah. He's quick. Smart. 17-7, Syracuse. The third down play coming up for Nebraska. And there goes the bomb. He's well covered. And it's knocked down. Incomplete, intended for James Monson. Fourth down. And Osborne sent some new players on.
He's sending the punting unit in there.
This has to be the happiest event in Dick McPherson's life. He had some rough years at Massachusetts. He came over here, and, you know, they haven't had these great seasons. He's trying to rebuild. He says he needs big linemen. He doesn't have a big lineman in Green, but he's got a great one. Look at that towering kick. Schwade's calls for a fair catch. His father's here watching him today.
He came up with a tremendous catch to get him in position for that touchdown.
We'll be back with the 5th anniversary of the 1959 National Championship Syracuse team. Gerhard Schwade was the captain of that team. He was the first player drafted by the old AFL. This is his son here today. And when Gerhard Schwade was introduced before the game, he got the biggest hand. His son, according to Dick McPherson, he said, I've never seen a kid worship a father the way Scott Schwade worships his father. And the father has quite a player in this sophomore wide receiver, Scott.
I assure you, he's happy to have, particularly in that hook pass that he came up with, the reception that kept the drive alive, take him down for the score.
58 seconds to go. 17-7 Syracuse. And the 2 timeouts left for Nebraska. Norley just downs the ball. There's another timeout, I think, coming up. Timeout on Nebraska. They have 1 left. We're going to have some interviews right after this game. Here is a very important statistic of this game. And, well, if you'd have told me this before the game, I'd say unbelievable. Time of possession. Syracuse, 36 minutes and 42 seconds. Nebraska, the Big Red Machine, 22 minutes and 20 seconds. Syracuse, 36 minutes to 22 minutes with the ball.
If you'd have said the other way around, I think most people would have believed you, because that's the way that Nebraska plays the football game. You cannot average over 500 yards in total offense per game, over 400 yards rushing without having the football a lot of the time.
Tom Osborne, same expression. Deep inside, he's got to be aching. He wants that national title. He lost it 2 years ago by 3 seconds when Penn State beat him in the last 3 seconds. The only loss, 27-24. He lost it on a 2-point conversion attempt that just went awry in the Orange Bowl. Each year winning 12 and losing 1. Incredible record, but no national titles for him. Bob Devaney had won 2 national titles. Now the clock moves down to 49, 48. Nebraska now comes in and is asking for their last timeout.
We were also talking about that over 70 games that Osborne has been the head coach at Nebraska. In their losses, there have not been that many losses. But the biggest margin was 7 points. Now here is a 10-point lead by Syracuse, a team that, as you said, is according to whoever.
Leslie and I were having dinner last night, and a Nebraska fan stopped by and he got talking. He said, you know, we got the greatest coach in America, not only his record, but he said, in the last 76 games, even if he's been beaten, he's been in every game no worse than 7 points. So right now he's 10 points behind. This man is about to enjoy the greatest moment of his athletic life.
He's about to explode.
Dick McPherson.
He is about to explode. What a difference a week makes. Shut out 19-0 by Rutgers a week ago, giving up the ball 8 times. Right now, 46 seconds remaining. They have a 10-point lead over Nebraska.
There they are. Nebraska's run out of their timeout. We're down to 40 seconds, 38. This will be a 3rd down play coming up. The 4th down now. you punt the ball, Lenny?
Oh, yeah, there's 26. You got to get the ball off.
Here's another amazing statistic. There's Sunberg, the starting quarterback of Nebraska. Nebraska made 60 yards total offense in the second half. Syracuse did an even better job on them in the second half than they did the first half. They're down to 9-8.
They're going to take the penalty.
They'll take the penalty. They've dropped the flag with 5 seconds, and they'll take the penalty. 17-7 Syracuse, about to score one of their historic victories. And they've had some national title teams. They've had Jimmy Brown. They've had Ernie Davis. They've had Floyd Little. They've had Jim Nance, who I see sitting over here to my left. They've had Larry Stonka. They've had great teams and great players. The program went into a decline, and Dick McPherson's trying to bring them back. This is a win that can really put them emotionally back. But this also has to be, I think, in recent years, one of the biggest upsets in the history of college football.
Yes, sir. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea, instead of punting it,
run it out,
run it out back there, yeah.
Run it around there, 5 seconds, take the safety.
He's going to do it.
That's what he's going to do.
Run it around. He's running out of bounds.
There it is. The game is over. There's McPherson. Tremendous victory. Here comes Tom Osborne to congratulate him. He'll do it. He's a gentleman. In fact, they both had great respect. I'll bet he says to him, hey, what a job you did getting that team ready. So Nebraska will be tumbling out of the #1 spot as they are upset here in Syracuse. The final score, Syracuse, a 28-point underdog, defeats Nebraska 17-9 on the safety. 17-9.
That was a good move there in the end zone. Why take a chance on them blocking of the punt, maybe scoring a touchdown? Just go back and run around there for a couple of seconds and go into the locker room with probably the sweetest victory in the history of this school. You know, they right down to the final gun, they did everything right, didn't they? You look at
one turnover, they just played their defense was inspired. They played almost a perfect game against the nation's #1 team.
You look at Nebraska. 122 points they've scored. Their opposition just 17. They averaged 531 yards per game in offense, 403 yards rushing the football. They've been doing everything, you know, offensively. Tremendous job offensively. And here coming in this man, McPherson's team comes in defensively after getting shut out last week by Rutgers. Shuts down the powerful Big Red machine of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
And we'll be seeing Syracuse on KATZ Sports more. They'll be playing Boston College and little Doug Flutie, the top candidate right now for the Heisman Trophy. They'll be up against Pittsburgh here, so you'll be seeing more of Syracuse. Boston College, we have some good games with them.
Jamie
Pittsburgh and Miami. There go the goalposts.
Not only do we think it's a big historical victory, but the students here at Syracuse feel the same way. That's dangerous, though.
What a game to bring back the national championship team 25 years ago. To celebrate their anniversary and to have that national title team watch Syracuse beat a team that many thought would win the national championship this year, Nebraska. All right, we have Dick McPherson down on the field in the best.